Hello, my social anti-socials. My name is Ginsu. Welcome to my personal public diary. I hadn't been in front of the camera for a while because I've been dealing with quite a lot. One of them is my skin. I had a hormonal breakout that was so stubborn and I had to receive help. But now I'm a lot better, so I feel like I can be confident enough in being in front of the camera again. What I want to share about today, maybe catch you up about what's been happening because again, I hadn't been recording for a whole year. What happened was, I had gone home to Lesotho. If you go on my social media, you'll see some of my real highlights. It was mainly because I had to go for my uncle's wedding and also to prep my documents. I had to update my documents, get my new passport and everything. I mean, I live in SA, I have a permanent residence, but I haven't, given up my citizenship and I don't want to. So I went home to go deal with my documents because I have two identities. I have the South African identity and the Lesotho identity. So I was going home to go deal with my Lesotho identity documents, get my new passport, new ID, new birth certificate because apparently the system had been updated, so I had to get new ones. A lot quite happened, but I might be forgetting some things. But quite a lot of things happened that I might be forgetting. But I do know that beginning of the year I was very much locked in, go in there and just do whatever I want to do. I was really down for giving my 100% in everything I do, which I did. I was very excited. The first thing I did was to schedule for my photo shoot. I've been talking about my Ginsu photo shoot, and previously I really couldn't go ahead with it because of the skin breakouts. It was really bad. Nothing I was doing was working anymore. Like what I'm accustomed to was working anymore. So I ended up having going to the doctor and having getting on hormonal therapy to help me because again the transition of ages, hormone issues. Then it got better. It wasn't as 100% like right now, but it got better and I went for my photo shoot. I loved it. It was really, really cool. I loved the 10 out of things. I was still very not so confident about my skin, but it was all right. And I posted some of the previews on my social media, even on here. But something negative happened. My relationship with a photographer fell out. I still don't know why. I believe I'll never know why. So I ended up deleting the photos because what's the point? I deleted the photos on my social media and everywhere because there's no point. I'll have to redo the photo shoot again for Ginsu. It was a bummer because I was really looking forward to having those photos because I wanted to use them to model like some way I want to present my mixtapes as well as use them for media because I have a whole plan of how to roll out Jinsu the DJ to the public and it never happened. It really staggered over something as small as press photos, which I honestly don't even know what's the issue till date. So that was a bummer and I was sad for the fact that I really loved those photos. They were very pretty. I'm sure you guys might have seen them. They were very pretty. I loved them. I loved the feminine side and the feminine masculine side. Like it looked really cool, the spotty looking and the girly and the heelys. It was pretty. And even the whole concept I put together. It wasn't much, just chopsticks in my hair and Chinese hairpins. How are they called again? Here and like wearing my dress, my bodycon dress, and just everything was so flattering to me and my body. It was cool, but it didn't turn out that way in the end. That was what was the bummer. So that happened. Man, I scheduled that for a shoot that I think around about March. I was like, let's get into it, and I pushed for it. Well, I was really on the roll, and then months down the line, didn't have the photos, and eventually, when I had the preview photos, now I get to know that it becomes evident that I wouldn't have the uncompressed images. So it was pretty much a waste. What else? And then also in relation to Ginsu, yeah, the same person that I had taken up the photograph services with is the same person that designed my logo. The concept is mine. I told him everything I had in mind for Ginsu, gave him all the symbols to use, told him what they mean, and for him to combine them and create me a logo, and he did. And I paid him. I now needed to trademark trademark my logo. So I sent him a form to transfer the copyright, which he has to. I cannot, you cannot trademark something you don't have copyright of. If somebody creates a logo or whatever they create for you, that's the copyright. There need to be some type of documents that transfer copyright to you. Then I can go ahead and trademark it. Doesn't mean like the process of trademarking can be stopped. It's just that that kind of gives you some sort of protection for, whatever people might want to do down the line, that hey, no, I do actually own this copyright. um so I sent him that form, like, please transfer the logo, and that's when I found out that he's disgruntled about the photo thing. And from my side, I'd been waiting for him so much that I just I gave up. And even in my approaching him about the logo, it it was so different. Like, I did specifically state to him that I don't like whatever happened with the photos, but I'm deciding to still trust you again. This is someone we come from way back when we were kids, and I specifically chose him because I felt like I know him better, and I wouldn't experience exactly what I'm experiencing right now from him. I stated I don't like it, but I'm deciding to trust him again. Can he please not let me down? Also to transfer this copyright. And I was giving him a job for other things. And that's when I found out that he's disgruntled about the photos for whatever narrative. There was no conversation moving forward. I still don't know. You know what? Human beings are so disappointing. Human beings are so disappointing. There was no conversation whatsoever. He blocked me everywhere, frankly. He wouldn't take my calls. He wouldn't, like, nothing. So I just wrote him an email just to, for evidence sake, because that's how it's supposed to roll. Also, put an email as well, like, hey, you have my phone, you have my email, you have my everything. If at one point you're interested in the conversation and being sensible, sure. Otherwise, I'm not gonna. I did not want to stress, but he refused innovatively to even transfer the copyright to the logo that which I paid him for. So I kind of don't own my logo now either, that I paid him for. And I've been getting other people. It's so hard to find creatives that are reliable. And I say it makes me sad, which was why I had initially even decided to go with him. Like, why not give the job to the one person I know anyway and come from far than having to go to people that it might turn out that they're not trustworthy. With my experience being in media and working on media, you know, but it still turned out that way. Big whoop, what a flop. Yeah, that was disappointing. So, I mean, I try to hire more people to try rework it so I can get a new copyright, but they were also still not reliable. Somebody else is currently close to me is currently trying to work on it, but he's having trouble. See, there's some technical issues also with the logo. So, yeah, those were not very great news for this year in that regard. Jinsu, I've been this stuck, not doing anything, not moving because I've got copyright issues, brand identity issues, and also things I had paid for, I prepped for. They can't happen anymore. What a bummer, because that's money that I could have just probably saved and put in something else if I knew I was going to be treated like that, and just a waste of money and time. Because Jinsu is essentially my de stress place, my creativity space, and also a platform for me to earn a living while being creative and playful. And it doesn't require much energy, but I can't do that now because of these issues. In terms of academics, things went pretty well. That's the positive side of things. Like I said, I logged in really hard. The first semester went really, really well. I had my outcome was like three distinctions, I think. And that was something really cool for me to experience because I hadn't experienced that in a long time. I'm talking as far as 10th grade. Like, when I got to my 10th grade, that's when my grades started to decline heavily, because those were my very problematic years. Like, my problems started beginning at that point. My sickness, my diagnosis, everything started at that point. And I could say I started feeling a lot healed, healthier, conscious, aware, and settled when I turned 27, which was 3 years ago. Before then, I'd been in a whirlstorm of just emotions and mental breakdowns, mental clutter, just feeling overwhelmed by life in general. There was quite a lot of things happening with me. I had a lot of stresses in various ways. So it affected how I performed and how I showed up in society and for myself as well. Whether school, whether work, everything was affected. But at 27, I believe that's the year where, for some reason, I just found this profound stillness and peace and just happiness. And overall, I just, from that year, I just started being so happy and being excited about life. I don't know. I think I might have recorded a diary entry and posted it here talking about it. Yes, the diary entry is called Death on the AM Brain, the revisit, because I had recorded a diary entry that I removed prior to that, where I was talking about my suicide ideation and how much I struggle in that regard. And I had to revisit that when I got into a point where I'm like, I don't feel like that anymore. I don't know what happened. Maybe God had finally heard my prayers. I don't know. But I had found this joy and fulfillment and excitement about life and just being content. Like, the things that used to hurt me did not hurt me anymore. And I think maybe because I'd worked through quite a lot of things that hurt me, and I removed, or God removed, things and people that hurt me a lot at that time. So I really got to a space where I would be happy and excited. I performed well in school, participated in moot court. We made it to the semifinals. Unfortunately, we didn't proceed further with the competition because it was disbanded. Looks like the upper echelons were fighting amongst themselves, so the competition couldn't continue. But I met cool team members, which I still kept this date. Again, people that you meet now are gonna be your colleagues. So, and we like each other. We like each other's synergy, really profound. We worked well with each other, respected each other. So it was pretty cool. You can't lose people like that. So we kept each other and we kept the group. Those are our future colleagues and future business referrals, so that happened. And cool enough, these are the very same people I'm now participating in a new mood court right now. We're in the middle of another mood court that's going to be proceeding from now till next year, March. It ends in March. So I don't know how that's going to go, but that one is a lot more stressful because of the timeline and when it's happening. But yeah. Um, yeah, I did that with the mood card thing. Yeah, I still worked at the firm, and got to learn a bit more. Like, I've been documenting a lot of things I've been learning, exploring, taking up short courses, which I did and got my certificate. There's only one more to go, but I took up certificate courses, short courses that are in regard to my specialization, and other avenues I want to explore. Did the whole lawyer networking conferences. I'll go to meet new people, exchange contacts, get to know people. Now that we kind of, they're in addition to a network of lawyers that I know. What else? Yeah, so there's about two mood courts I'm in the middle of right now. One, I've submitted the application like on the 15th. I'm praying that we make it because a lot of work, but it's particularly speaking to like my specialization, intellectual property. So we'll see how it goes. I'm praying we make it because we put so much effort. It was so tiring, just the application process. But hopefully we make it. We'll see how it goes. We'll only know the final results like the 22nd of December. And there's another one, this one is like a public interest based moot court. The cool thing is we'll get to be presenting the constitutional court. Like, it'll be cool to just be in the environment, like seeing or being in the environment where your future lies. It's like it makes everything look and feel real and also very motivating. Yeah. So I've been gaining a lot of skill from drafting documents, being the lawyer that I need to be, to the studies, and really ensuring that I finish off. So both my first and second semester went really well. My grades went really up. I got, in overall this year, I was, out of 10 modules, I was able to secure 4 distinctions. I still believe there were ones that were close to distinction, so I submitted for a remark because I really believe that I should have gotten distinction for that. There's one out of two that's part of my specialization where I'm very disgruntled. I'm unsatisfied with the marks. And I'm in a position where I'm not even able to submit for a remark. The university's policy does not afford me that, so I can't get help. Neither apparently are we allowed to have access to the exam memo, which is so ridiculous. I've always talked about how I don't really enjoy this university and how I regret, my God, I regret setting up with them. And I'm definitely not doing any of my postgrad or my masters with them. It will be a disaster. Listen, I know a whole entire advocate that was crashing out, and he's doing his masters with them. I was like, why would you do that to yourself? Those places for undergrad, not postgrad, because the intensity of postgrad is terrifying. You need a university that cares, with staff that is proactive, and we don't have that there. But yeah, Shem, he was struggling. I would never do that to myself. I would never. So yeah, that's what's been happening in regards to school. I tried to apply for jobs. Not a single interview came out this year. I've applied and applied and applied. Just just either rejections or silence altogether, getting ghosted. Not a single interview was secured, which is a bummer and got me very worried, very insecure. I technically now have about 6 months left before I complete school, and I really would like to wind up at the bar. That's my goal, to be a pupil. I don't like the common journey is for people to be CAs, to be a candidate attorneys, and I don't want to. That journey is not. I'm not fit for it, whether financially or mentally. I don't want to, and I really want to wind up at the bar. I just don't know if I'll wind up at the bar. I'm scared. I'm a very very scared person at this point. But money is the hugest concern. Security, financial security is the biggest concern right now, which terrifies me so much. It does. I don't know, but that's my goal. I will start applying for the bar beginning of the year, because that's when new applications will be opening for the the year after 2026. Because it's an annual program, so that's when applications for the bars will be opening. That's when I'll start applying. I'm praying it goes well, because I genuinely want to be at the bar. I'm skeptical and scared because of my grades. Like, my first year and second year grades were not so good, which essentially brought down my average. And that's why I'm even fighting for those other modules for them to get remarked. Like, please lend me on a distinction, because that would bring me, I'm so close to a 60 average. In the law field, they want 65 average. I think it's not the law field only. I think in academy and overall, the acceptable average is a 65. And I'm currently on a 59 something. Terrible. um, like I always say, like, my academics are like my hugest insecurity. But I did my best to improve them. I look at my script now, I'm like, the other half, the marks look so incredible. The other half they look so, they're not even that bad, but they're not in the average that is acceptable, which leads to being told that you're not good enough, and leads to not being afforded opportunity, which sucks. This world is really tuned for academics. You need to be an academic for you to be afforded a life quality. Whether you want a bursary, you need to be excellent. That's literally what they want. They want you to be excellent, outstanding. Whether you want to be accepted in school, you need to be excellent. Whether you want a job, you need to be excellent academically. And I'm not that person. I'll never be that person. I might push myself to be, but it took a lot of strain. I don't know how many times I crashed out and cried this year in terms of my academics. It was terrible. It was straining. It was stressful. Oh, I cried a lot. And I fought a lot, from professors to just the system itself. It's bullshit. It's a terrible system. Don't go to the university, please. Whatever you do, if you can afford, go to other universities. That one, no. Yeah, it was hard, but I'm not an academic, and it takes a lot of pushing, a lot of sacrificing ourselves, and just a big toll on my mental health for me to just get to the average that is acceptable, and it's a miracle when I come out of the distinction. And again, I have to thank technology for evolving, because I at least can now study in ways that I understand and prefer. I can't take a book and read it and, like I say, I understand everything and I should apply it. I have a terrible memory. Let's just start there. And law is a very text heavy based field, um, that requires your memory, not just the application, but your memory. And I don't have that. Um, yeah, there's that. Um, but ever since the evolution of technology, I can convert my study material to podcasts. I can summarize my study material and create exercise questions out of them. I can create visualizations out of them. Like there's so many options now that has helped me to study and also even focus on what really matters. Because I remember in my first year, I thought I knew how to study, and I really was out there reading the books back to back. And I failed because of TMI. My brain just locked. The moment I stepped in the exam room, just sit down and try to write, it locked. It locked, and I did not, I couldn't get anything out of me because I'd overloaded myself. And we read a lot. A lot. There's so much to read. Even the writing, there's a lot of writing. So it was just, I don't know, man. But in these last 6 months, I'm looking forward to just saying, you know, qualification completed. I'd like that. It took me years. You need to understand, I started my degree when I was in 2014. It is now 2025. I'm only gonna be completing it in 2026. That's a lot. That's technically what, 12 years, I think? Yeah, 12 years of trying to finish one degree. That's a lot. What I'm not regretful of is the experience of how I paused on school and I went out to work. I gained a lot of experience because I look at my peers and even people who hadn't gained work experience before getting into the degree and how they move. My route was rather beneficial. And even outside of that, you hear people who, like, the law industry is not as straightforward formula industry. It's interesting. You can get people that went straight to varsity, finished a record time, and then they start getting detours in their route to being an attorney, or in their route to being an advocate, because it took time to secure articles, it took time to get accepted to the bar, or you know they needed to gain some experiences. They had to go off and work before they could be accepted, or yeah, to be felt like they have value enough to contribute in the law industry. It's a very we're not told when we're younger that the law field is actually a field where you need to go into it when you have past experiences, because that way you kind of have figured yourself out. You've had time to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you know, what you don't know, what interests you more, what drives you. Because most of us, we go into it very blank, thinking it's like every average course where you go to school, finish, you start working. No, it's it's a whole different ball game. And the approach of it, it's a ministry. The approach of it all is so different. And I'm glad in that regard that I've had very rich experiences that have built me up. What's not fun is the taking long to finish it, and the insecurities that I have or had in that regard. So had, kind of past that now. And just having to watch everybody else do life and you're behind. It's not fun. Or rather, you think you're behind, till you are at the finish line or almost at the finish line, and like you look around and it's like what I thought was like incredible back then, and like how I was yearning for that. I wished it was me. Nah, they don't got it good like you thought it is. Like, yo, the industry is in shambles. But anyway, that's that with school. Cool things happened. Still work at the firm. The moon cards, they're applying for jobs, the turnout of my academics. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, the job applications, it's not yielding any result at all. I'm just convinced also that the people that are hiring don't actually know what they want, or the market is so bad that they're willing to penny pinch. Yesterday, I did a follow up. I did a follow up. So I applied for a certain post in August, and I did an email follow up in September, and then there was still nothing, no reject, nothing from these people. So I decided, I was curious to see who might have taken the posts. I search up and I find two people that are in this post, but they started working last year, not this year. And this post was from this year. Okay, I look at these people, their qualifications, their experiences, and I was like, their qualifications and experiences have nothing to do with what they're doing right now, which bamboozled me. I'm like, the role is a legal role. Why is somebody in a communications or marketing diploma with a sales experience doing this job? Like, what are we supposed to be doing? And it was very disappointing to see them. Like, if they wanted sales rep, they could have done that. Don't could have posted that. Don't post saying you're looking for a compliance consultant. Compliance is a legal thing. Like, you essentially have to ensure that either the organization itself or members or people that ought to be following certain policies and rules are doing so and taking measures if they're not doing so, and then also licensing. There's a sub duty that was placed on there outside the compliance of regulations. There's also the responsibility to issue certain licenses to, you know, users. That's a legal thing, but here is the job being done by a communications and a marketing diploma graduate with sales experience. You know, I looked at all my applications. I'm like, none of them got back to me or accepted me or even, queued for an interview. I could see like maybe like two applications where I made a mistake. It was an honest mistake in the process of applying. But other than that, none of them got back to me, nothing. Which brought me back to, anyway, the plan for me. Because I always say, I feel like I'm not quite a lucky person. It has never happened in my life that I secure anything that I applied for. Um, and it'd be a big opportunity. It can be a bursary, it can be work. I've I've never I've always been the type of person who's had to carve out their lane, which is exhausting. Cool for others to witness, but it's exhausting. But I'd planned that, yo, after this situation, I do the whole completing of studies. I'm going back to working for myself until the bar calls for me. So that's the plan. Hopefully the plan pans out well. The plan should plan and it pans out well, hopefully. Oh, it would be really cool for the bar to actually call me. Because, child, I don't know if I'll be good enough in their eyes with my academics or my life experience, if it counts, you know. I don't know. I would really, really love to go to the bar to train and just be admitted as an advocate and go back to working for myself in general. Because this whole being employed thing, uh, it doesn't look like it's I'm gifted with that, honestly. So that's what's been happening with me with academics, work, um, and Jinsu. In terms of having a life, I haven't had any, to be honest. Like everything, I've just been giving my time to my academics and and work. I really wanted to go to a Comic Con thing. I had to cancel because, again, mood court. I wanted to go. My friend didn't wind up happening. I haven't had any opportunity to go out because I'm broke. I don't have money, so I'm not mobile. I can't do anything. The takeaway for this year for me is I'm really glad I got to, shift my focus into things that I actually really care about, which was my work and my schooling and my careers. and I was in a very healthy state, mentally strong. I was very mentally strong to do all those things. And it highlighted what I've always believed, that my mental strength is very, very important to build my life right now. Which previously I didn't, I experienced so many things that tempered with my mental strength, which essentially led me to being depressed and not to performing well and being overwhelmed and so many other things that were just not pleasant to experience. But yeah, that, and also for the first time in a long time, my energy got to go towards investing in me instead of healing me or trying to pour into others, because those are the two things I'd done throughout my life. And I was starving for my own energy because there were things and people in my way taking from me and I was putting into them, and it deterred me a lot. It affected even my own health. But these past 2 years, 3 years actually, and I'm very proud of myself and I'm happy in that regard. I do have other thoughts I want to share outside of catching up on what's been happening. It's cool, which I've done now, but throughout the year, I've just had so many numerous thoughts, experiences, and epiphanies in terms of my own, self reflective journey, a self reflection journey rather. Oh yeah, the other day I got to finally go to my sister's house, which I wanted to go for so many years. Well, not many years, but many years, and just something always came up. But I eventually got to go see. She has a beautiful house, and it's cool. It's so cool to see. Like, so weird to look at us both like we're old. We're old. We're grown. It's such a weird thing to see and experience. But hey, age caught up with us and we're here. It was cool. We had a bride, family, and her boyfriend. Um, and I came back home with my mom after. So that's been that. The takeaway from this year is, despite of everything, people who've been there for me are the ones that really keep me going. I'm very grateful for like my friends, my family, my support structure, and people who are down to helping me and directing me in terms of my career. Like, I ask questions a lot. I reach out to people who ask questions, and those people wind up being people in my career network, in my professional network, and always willing to assist, to guide, and or so I'm very grateful for that. I'm excited to see how my legal career pans out in my businesses. I'm just also in the very same breath very scared because, like I said, this world affords opportunity to people that are exceptional, and I'm none of those things in terms of academics. I might be exceptional in my talents, etc., but I unfortunately am not a talented academic anymore, which hurts and really affects the quality of your life because you're told you're not good enough. But yeah, man, that's about what happened. I don't know if I'll record another video another time. I wanted to record a segment called Now That I'm Grown Up, because there's so much that I've been revisiting and reflecting, which is why I shot the previous diary entry talking about, when is it the right time to look back. The title is You Can Only Look Back When You're Out the Valley. Yeah, that one. That was due to the fact that I've spent my time this year, especially just reflecting. It started last year, but this year was like a deep reflection of my life for the past 3 decades to see like what's been happening. And my oh my, when I tell you, I am so glad that I've been out of certain spaces and certain people left me. Because I look at them and I'm like, girl, bye. You absolutely did not want that. And even some of the things I cried about or people I cried about, and I at that time really, really believed that, oh, they are supposed to be my life. I'm supposed to be in theirs. What's this happening? It's terrible. I look back now, I'm like, God favored you, child, because look at what you were signing up for. Do you know where you would have winded up in your life? Yeah, so I've been really reflecting a lot from the past from my actions of others, aspirations, things we wanted, disappointments. So I want to shoot that diary entry series. I don't know when, but I'll see. Anyway, that's it from me to you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.